It was the BMV.
Now, Caroline, have you ever been to the BMV yet? Have you been there yet or not yet? You have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what he means by that when he says the BMV?
No.
Like you've flown, right?
Mhm.
You've gone through security when you went to Montana,
Yeah.
and a lot of the times the people do they look like overjoyed to be there? Are they like, hey, listen, I want to get you through security as quickly as possible because I know you have a flight to catch, and who knows, you might want to put your feet up before that flight.
No. They're just there to get you through and to go home and pay the bills.
That's the bare minimum. Level 2.
2. All right, what's 3?
I'm great. People who are full of themselves. 48%.
So what's an example there?
I don't know, individual people.
Well, yeah, but what kind of team? 48%. That's a lot of teams. What's an example? Anna, can you think of any?
Managers. Management. People climbing corporate ladders. Lots of managers.
So if Anna were to say, hey, listen, this person who works for me, she sucks. So basically, Anna is acting at level 3.
Instead, I treat my people like we are a team and we are all moving each other, and Bo helps me and I help Bo, and we are a team.
Now, what level is that?
That is 4?
Yep.
5? 4? Yeah, 4.
For we are great.
Yeah. 22%. And then stage 5, life's great. 2%. That could be really hard to get up there. That's probably why there's only 2% of people. Because you totally don't even worry about the competition. And you're just like, oh, let's compete against ourselves and our previous goals and everything. Which, I think that'd be harder for business than, in your own personal lives. Because, I feel like people do that all the time in their own personal lives. Do you guys do that in your personal lives? Like I do it all the time for golf. Like, oh, I got a 51 here. Well, now I'm trying to beat that score and do better. Isn't that competing against yourself instead of trying to beat the other team? It's just.
That's a very, very, very evolved way to look at it, Kay.
Mm-hmm.
That's very smart of you. Very smart. Because other people your age and older might look as though they were competing against the other people in the course. And for them, they would be stage 3, right? Or if they weren't very good, they'd be even stage 2. Right?
I think I just can jumble all the stages together when I play golf. Because I think stage 5, but then when I hit a really bad shot on a stage 1, I'm like, ooh, that was really not good. And then I get really frustrated at myself. But I still try to beat my previous score. I just try to do better. I don't really care if we win or lose. I
So
do better.
so give me an example of the of all the stages on the golf course.
Like stage 1.
Yeah, stage 1. What would that be?
Really, really bad hit. Yeah? What do you mean?
Could be, yeah. Would that mean life sucks?
Yeah.
How about your bus that you're going on completely rolls over into a ditch, and falls into a lake. At that point, life sucks.
Yeah, that'd be really bad.
Right? Stage 1. Stage 2 is I suck.
Everybody else is doing okay, and I can't hit the dang ball.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
My life
That's
sucks.
stage 2. So stage 3 is after you
Hit a good shot.
hit a good shot, better than everybody else. Now all of a sudden, like, I'm great, and everybody else, I don't know about them, but I'm doing well today, right? Now, if everybody's having a good day, you go up to level 4, right? And then say after you guys have won state, and now you're just playing,
You're
you have no one
Tiger
to compete
Woods
against,
with better morals.
then what?
Then life's great.
The full gamut. Now, do you remember how he said to pick people up from stages?
Yeah.
So if you have a friend in stage 2, what do you do?
You show them. Oh shoot, he told us this also.
Talk stage 3 to me. Na 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 na.
You can talk stage. You can only talk this one stage above and one stage below. So then, if you want to raise them up, you talk like stage 3 with them, and then you have them go teach stage 3 to somebody else, and then you can go back and teach them stage 4, and then they can go back and somebody else, and then you teach them step 5, and then they can go teach somebody else, and then they're like at the top, and they can do what you did.
That was great. You got it.
Exactly. So, how did you get from 3 to 4? Remind me how we got from 3 to 4, because this is a big one.
3 to 4 is a big one. It's about not becoming an individual, but becoming part of a team.
And what did they have to do to go from 3 to 4? Do you remember? Because that's a tough one. That's 90% of what his book has been helpful with. Has been able to convert people from stage 3 to 4 to bridge that gap.
Is that like when you know your strategies and your things, but like you have to sit there and share your ideas and work together, so everybody knows that everybody's good at, so then you can put them in their right spots and everybody can work together from there and their strengths.
And everybody's aware that they're in a tribe. Yeah.
You have common values, right? Figure out what are we about? What are we going to be doing? What are going to be standalone? I have one story for you. Well, I have lots of stories for you, but this is one that happened last week. Are you ready?
Yep.
So in our company, we have core values, okay? And we talk about them every single week. Because every week, whenever we prize everybody at the end of our meeting, I prize every single person for one core value that they've done really well in the past week. Okay? The 4 core values are always have the highest integrity, okay? So always doing the right thing. So doing the right thing. Constant, never-ending improvement. Always being able to constantly learn and improve yourself in some way. And this is just our company. Every company will have different ones, and they'll have them in different order. Okay?
Yep.
And complete outcome focused. Completely focused upon the outcome. To do that, you have to be resourceful, you have to be accountable, and you have to have a positive focus. And then we have the last one's called excellent ball handling skills. Ball handling has to do with recognizing and taking responsibility over problems and just taking and being the owner of them. Now, so with those core values, okay, I was away from email for about 3 days this week. Okay? We got an email in from a guy in Oregon. He has a small town. He's a member of a really small town. They have less than 100 people in their little town in Oregon. The nearest city is almost an hour away. There's no fire department. there's no ambulance. What happens if somebody in that city gets sick, or if their house starts burning down? They can't even get fire insurance anymore because there's nobody to put it out. The nearest fire engine's an hour away. So he reached out. Yeah, right? So like he reached out to us because he was wanting, hey, I don't really have much of a budget, but I kind of volunteer and help out the town, and I'm the fire chief, so to speak, and I am the person who's in charge of the ambulance, which is my van that I've kind of done a makeshift kind of thing with, and I would like to learn how to do like advanced cardiac life support. I'd like to learn how to save lives, and I'd like to at least train my staff, so to speak, of my 12 volunteer firefighters with me, how to do all that stuff too, how to be a good first responder and stuff like that. Would you guys be willing to like donate courses to us and whatnot? So I wasn't available, and I'm the leader of the team, so to speak. So theoretically, like, what's going to happen if you're a level 2 team and you get that sort of request? Because it came in for Brian, and Brian lives in the Philippines. Brian's in charge of customer service, and he answers all those emails. Brian sends it direct. Oh, go on.
If he was a level 2 person, what would happen? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I tell you, I'll tell you what happened, and then we can go through like what kind of would normally occur, like in other organizations. So like, okay. He got it. He told the guy, and this is a guy that works literally for $5 an hour in the Philippines. He and I have never met. We've never even video conferenced. I've never seen his face. He said there's absolutely no problem. We'd be happy to help him with that. We'll have details over to him by the end of the day. He shoots it over to Charlotte. Charlotte talks to both David and Chris about it. They formulate a plan. They already do research just to make sure his whole story's legit and stuff like that. They set him up with 12 courses of basic life support, ACLS 1000 BLS for him, and 2 mannequins like to be shipped over. And within the next month and a half, Dad and I will be going out to Oregon to like physically train him and see what else we can do for his little community. But they made all those arrangements, except for me actually traveling out there, without any input by me at all. Nice. Zero, none.
When are you guys traveling out there?
At the last week of September. Isn't that kind of interesting though, that they were able to make all those decisions based off of core values? Yeah. And they have the autonomy to be able to do all of that. And that's what a lot of people like when they have a job.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry all that much about them making good decisions or bad decisions, because what I do every week is I pound in the same core values every single week. So much to now, they're habitual, right? It's now a habit.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Kind of interesting, huh?
Yeah, Fritz, I think it's really interesting because there has to come a point where it's just second nature. They are so guided by those values that it becomes a solid part of who they are, and there's almost an automation to it, if you will.
It is.
I'm going to do what's right. I'm going to do the right thing, and certainly if they're outcome focused.
Yep.
I think it's great. I think it's fabulous.
Then you can change them. You choose whichever ones you want. Like, you want to test this theory, go into Nordstrom's. You go into Nordstrom's and you ask anyone to help you try on shoes, Caroline. Actually, you ask anybody to help you with anything. They will do the right thing under any circumstances at all. Their whole thing is to put the customer first. They don't work on commission. They just put the customer first. I went in there last week because I needed some dress shoes, and I never find dress shoes that are comfortable. He says, don't you worry. I stand here all day long in dress shoes. I can help you with this. He brings out 12 pair of dress shoes. I didn't buy any of them. And he didn't care. He was like, this is awesome. This is great. I'm glad you were able to at least, like get a little closer to the ones you wanted. At least now you want this brand and this thing. I know you're going to go home and grab them off of Amazon. And that's completely cool. Because he knows whenever I need anything else, where am I going to go if I want really good customer service?
Right.
And all of their people are like ingrained with the same culture. And that's a company that has thousands and thousands and thousands of employees. They have stories of people taking back tire chains. They don't sell tire chains. And they refunded them. Just a little something to think about.
So Fritz, let me ask you this. When you go back to your core values, how were they developed?
Well, we did that a year and a half ago. We had probably a 3-4 day long meeting, and how we developed core values. Actually, I have a little bit of it right here because this is directly from the notes of the book whenever I read Tribal Leadership. And he defined the core values like principles without which life would not be worth living. Like if this doesn't happen, then screw it. I have no interest in even going on with this company.
Wow. Okay.
So like it's not like things that would be nice to have. It's things that like if we aren't going to do the right thing, if we're not going to have integrity, if we're going to be shady, then like I don't need this.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I don't want to do it. Like period, not going to do it. Therefore, like everybody in the company, like it's just not going to happen. Okay. Like so we took the key people in our organization. So it was basically John and I, and we had Will as well there when we were kind of developing them. Because he kind of was a prototype for at least a lot of the good ideas that we kind of wanted to have within the company. And we developed these kind of as a prototype, and they evolve a little bit here and there. Our core values, but like if you want to develop them, you ask yourself, and Dad and Nana are going to be doing this like right after this call. Like, what are you most proud of? What have you done that you're most proud of with this tribe? Like, whether it's if it's you in tennis, or you and golf. Oh. Like, what are you most proud of? Like, what are you most proud of with like your family? What are you most proud of with whatever little like niche that you're with? Like whatever with that tribe, you're most proud of the things that happened. For us, I was really proud that we could get, we could get focused on an outcome and we could actually make it happen. That we were actually accountable. That we could do the right thing, and that we were always all about growing. That like if you were complacent, that just wasn't okay. Meaning that like you hire and fire by these values. Meaning that each person each quarter gets a grade on each 4 of these. And if they do poorly on any of them, like if there's anybody in my company that hasn't read a book all quarter or hasn't done a good amount of learning, whether it be video, reading, blog, whatever, it's cool. There'll be other teams for them, but it won't be our team. Because that's just something to where like
you have to constantly never-ending improvement.
You have to keep going. You have to keep pushing all the time. We have a Kenai like time period in every one of our meetings where we'll talk for 15 minutes, which I have the Kenai report this week, where I'll talk about like what I've learned over the last month about leadership. Charlotte will have it the next week. What has she learned in the last month about marketing? Mary will talk about sales. David will talk about finance. Like, what have you learned? It's an interesting way to go about it, but like it's cool because it has people really want to stick together and really gel.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see in my business how that would be invaluable, because ultimately ultimately I'm making decisions. I'm making decisions to serve certain members of the team without clear core expectations, or they're mine, not theirs. Yeah, so that's very clarifying.
Like Kathy, for example, like Dad, Anna, and I, we'll talk about this after. Like this is our later in the call. Like all of us are involved in real estate in Southern Indiana. What we'll be doing, and this like we always kind of like, and core values are always like really like blurry, yet you kind of know what you're doing all the time and stuff like that until you
Yeah.
actually like write them down and then put them into
Yeah.
order. Like when you put them into order, there's a lot of power in the order. Like which one comes first? Are you willing to sacrifice number 2 for number 1? If so, then they're in the right order. Like for example, if we were to choose being able to help people and put them in the right place and helping the right people above profit and sustainability. Therefore, are you willing to rent for less rent if it's the wrong person or if it's the right person? If you're not, then they get flipped. It's fine. There's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
It's just which way do you want to actually do it? And then once everybody agrees upon it, then that's your source code. That's how you make decisions. It makes everything very easy to make decisions. Once you have everything in line, everybody knows what the guidelines are. They know what the rules are.
Yeah.
And nobody is outside of them. Like you're willing to kind of like make or break. Like in our tribe, this is what we do.
So then what happens when you invite someone in? You hire a new person.
When we hire a new person, we have them, like I've shot a video to where I talk in depth about each one of the 4 values.
Okay.
It's like a 15-minute video, like a TED talk almost, about the four core values. They all watch it before they do it. And it's one of those things, like not only is this is an example of what it is, here's what it isn't. And if you're not down with this, we completely understand this is definitely not for everybody. Don't apply any further. Like, just don't apply. You won't fit in here. You'll eventually get weeded out. You won't like the other people in the group. If this speaks to you, if it's something you really like to do, then you're in the right group. But if you don't, then get out. Like, don't even like, we don't want a wrong fit just as much as you don't want to be a wrong fit.
Right. And I know, like, from my years in human resources, that some people really interview well and they say oh yeah, this is great, and you bring them on board, and then they don't measure up, and so you just handle it just like you would in corporate America. You evaluate them, you have your quarterly meetings, and then you eliminate them because they're not part of their commitment and doesn't line up to the core values in the team. So they basically get rid of themselves.
Yeah, I mean they get smoked out, because I mean if they're not willing to be kind of accountable to things on a weekly basis, the things that like whatever position they're put in, like you'll have like weekly accountability, they'll have things, the projects they need to do, they'll have to do the projects and stuff like that in alignment with the core values, and like if it's just not something that they want to do, it turns up very quickly and like
Yeah, that's great, Fred.
We're pretty slow to hire though. Like we're slow. Like we don't hire horribly quickly. It take a long time to be able to hire someone, almost to make them like go away.
Give up almost, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's to the point to where they really, really, really want to work with us before I'll let them in. Because like I know that after once they get in, like this is not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. Like we work really hard. Like not just a little hard. Like we work really hard. So if you're not willing to work really hard, like then don't. If you'll send 2 emails and then give up in the like interview process, this wasn't a good fit for you.
You're not going to hack it.
So it's like that's a weeding out scenario on its own.
Yeah.
So Kay, what else? Do you have anything else for this one?
I don't have anything else really. But I just found, I was looking back through my notes, and we had watched a video on tribes before, and I was trying to remember it. And it was by Seth Godin, the Tribe
Yeah.
TV. Yeah. So that's about the same type of tribes, right? Like they're on the same page, right?
They're all on the same page. Like, so what was Seth talking about? He talked about like balloon, like balloon animal makers. Like, there are all kinds of like weird little tribes out there, but they all have this similar like again, similar values. They're similar people. They'll have similar stuff that they all work toward.
Yeah.
I don't know what tribe I'm in.
Ooh. So Kay, what kind of tribes do you think Anna would be in?
Well, our family's tribes.
Completely.
I'm in that tribe. That's like my favorite tribe ever.
Well, you're in a tribe with your work, like all the people you work with. Because you guys all work towards the same goals.
So would that include, not necessarily, those would be like my contractors that I work with and like the sewer company, water company, Lucas Ackerman, all
Yes.
those.
Yes.
That was what I was thinking.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a corporate tribe. The family's another tribe. And like for me, I go less than 20. I know he went to 20 as a cutoff. I think
Right.
it was like you'd said, like the group dynamics, Kathy, of like when one comes in, everybody will just teach them how you have to be. And they almost get like swallowed up by it. Like
Yeah.
whenever we have like 6 or 8 people and we have one new person come on, they don't get swallowed up. It takes a little while for them to kind of learn the ropes. Once it's like 20 and you work in an environment where you see everybody every day, that's why it's a little different for us. Like, you just get swallowed whole. Like, if they're all going in one direction, it's pretty hard for you to maintain individuality when you go into a classroom and everybody's doing the same thing and all conforming.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that's
like if
really
you started
hard.
work at Zappos.
You're gonna get weird and you're gonna
gonna
start being
be
cool.
Zappos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you will start doing it.
You will be fun. You will be exciting.
Or
you don't have a choice.
You will leave because like it was not okay. Like Anna and I toured Zappos. Now, Kay, you know what we're talking about when we say Zappos?
I just know what he talked about in the video.
And he showed you like a little snippet of going around Zappos, and everybody's offices were like nuts, and people were hanging out in like hammocks talking on the phone to people.
So here's Zappos. It's an online. It started off as a shoe distributor. You can buy shoes online. Okay. Their niche was that they would send them to you, and you could send them back free shipping. But once women had them on their feet, they wouldn't want them to go back, even if they were uncomfortable. So they sold a lot of shoes. Okay. So let me get some pictures of images. Yeah. So here's how weird. Like that's Zappos. That's Tony Hsieh. That's the CEO, and that's around their workplace. And what they do is they deliver what they call delivering happiness, where they just try to make their people happy. That's it. They don't really like you can be as strange and as weird as what you want, kind of out there. That's just how they do it at Zappos.
Is that a cardboard cutout of him? That might actually be a cardboard cutout of Tony Hsieh.
This one?
No, the very first one.
Maybe. Oh, there? I don't know.
I mean, it could be, and it wouldn't make it any less legit of a picture. Because, yeah, you walk in their office, this is what they're doing.
Yeah, Ann and I went through their office, and it's just, it's a little strange. Like, it's just it's an atypical place. Like, nobody kind of works in that kind of a strange environment.
But it's a great example of a culture. They create this office culture.
And Anna and I also saw where they were trying to go to stage 5, where they were trying to revitalize old Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So that company was kind of taking over a portion of town and making it cool again.
Yeah.
And like Logan had said, he didn't think there was an actual other company that actually had done that before. So very cool.
Yeah.
So they were looking to go to like level 5. So Dad, are you still with us?
Yep, I'm still here.
Yes, you are. What
Okay.
else did you have from this one? Anything?
Nope, I think Katie has pretty well covered it.
Yeah, I
You
think
know.
Kay did a really good job summing everything.
Great job, Kay. Great job.
Hey, I think another tribe, and I mean, you guys are in, is like your graduating classes. Like if you see somebody from like your high school or something, you're like, hey.
Yeah, or like Circle Pines or Glenwood from college.
Completely.
Your group of people there.
Like when we were in Montana and we found the people that lived like 15 minutes away from our house, like we had like a tribe, even though we weren't aware we were in that tribe, when you see somebody, like you're in that tribe.
All of a sudden, Cleveland is a tribe, isn't it? Strange.
Yep.
Now look at this, Kay. Like, okay, now he talked a little bit about triads, but he talked about triads in the book. That's when one person from a tribe introduces 2 other people from different tribes. So an example of this, how I became relatively popular in college, I would introduce people from different tribes. I was part of a tribe, Circle Pine. I was also in other tribes, such as pharmacy class. Well, it just so happens Circle Pines has a lot of guys that have a lot of big parties. Well, it just so also happens that pharmacy has a lot of hot girls. I connect the 2 tribes. That's what you call like a real tribal leader. You connect 2 tribes together, everyone's happy.
All the girls loved Fritz because he invited them to all these cool parties. And all the guys loved Fritz because he invited all the cool chicks to the parties. So it was a win-win.
But you know what? When I'm questioning about that, I can see how that works in that situation. But when I listened to that, it sounded like because they have mutual interest.
Yeah,
but they didn't know it though.
But I could meet somebody in real estate, and then I can meet somebody in business management, and it's like whatever. So I didn't quite get that concept if you don't know what their interests are.
For example, Kathy, me introducing you to this group is a triad. Like, for example, you are all about learning, self-improvement, and you're always about giving back. Those are values that you have.
Okay.
They're painted all over you. You do it all the time. So what does our group here do? We're all about learning. We love to give back. We all do different things, like drastically different things, but that's a commonality among my tribe with you, which was originally Tony Robbins' tribe and Ronald McDonald House tribe and my family tribe. So I brought you into my family tribe, and now like there's kind of like a little bit of a triad,
Okay.
It's very interesting. Like same way as like you introducing me to Alex. We have similar interests. We are like both physicians. Like him and Dusty through completely other tribes than Ginny and I.
Right.
Like drastically different tribes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, yes.
But like you made the connections. 'Cause like you're very much a tribal leader through triads. Like completely. Like how many emails, Kathy, do you send where you CC and you say, I need to introduce you to someone?
Yeah.
That's complete triad. That's a level 4 leader right there. 100%.
Okay, well, look, I understand that, but let me ask you this. When he talked about the example, one of the examples he used was like, going to a network marketing event where you're meeting all strangers and
introducing two people you don't know.
Introducing two people.
Yeah.
So that I found difficult to do.
See,
You
that
know
would
what
be
I'm
kind of.
saying?
I don't know. I don't know if he meant like literally like you have to know enough about one person to actually like have a comment. Because in the book he talks a good amount about like when you meet someone, like go directly into as fast as you can like what their values are.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
remember? Oh, who was the hypnotist that was at Tony Robbins with us? Is it Stan? Stanley? Not Stan. Shit. He was from. See what? Oh yeah, you definitely know who he was. He was only for life. He wasn't there for wealth, I don't believe. But he was a hypnotist from Vancouver.
Yeah, I remember him. Just don't remember his name.
God, he had the best introductory question of all time. Apart from marriage or divorce, what's the most important thing, or what was the event that had the biggest impact on your life?
Yeah.
And then he would ask why. And that I saw. Do you remember Jason Decker?
Yeah.
I saw Decker like completely. It like almost that question alone just threw Jason in a trance. And like Jason was fast. Like
Yeah.
Jason's. I mean, he's the head of a multi-million dollar like corporation. You know, like he had never been asked that question before. You know, like very highly successful. Like he like completely gave him pause. And he like you saw him like he went into just a really touching story about like when his father died and he had to become like man of the house and he was only like in his mid-teens. And like and then I thought his name was Stan. Stan asked him about that. And like he kind of went in like you know like in that those like all that happened was like poured out like his values.
Yeah.
One after another. And like
Yeah.
literally I was just like, wow. That was a completely like that just hacked right into his psyche, all the way in the way bottom. You know, like he took away all, you know, like easy ones. No marriage, divorce, birth of your first child. You know, like of course those are big deals. Like what's a big deal that you don't have on like automatically that you can just pull from?
Yeah.
It's a
That's powerful.
and he was able to like and I saw like within that week like how powerful he was at being able to kind of like connect with people really quickly and like he could even pull that kind of triad type thing off in like a networking event, which to me is kind of hard. Like if you're just meeting people for the first time, you know, I find that I'm not as efficient at figuring out what they're good at.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like or knowing enough about them to be able to be like, you know, who you need to meet. You need to meet this person over here that I just met 15 minutes ago.
Right.
Did you know that they did that? You know. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
He goes. You would like that. You would like the Tribal Leadership book, Kathy. It's a very interesting read. I have a copy of it. If you'd like, I'll bring my copy for you. It's a great book.
Okay, that'd be great. I would enjoy that because you know we're heading off to convention next week, and we've got some key leaders in our team, and we're going to put some meetings together. We can do some planning, and so it's just a lot of good stuff going.
So that's fantastic. Yep, can do it. Absolutely. So, Kay, let's go through our accountabilities for last week.
All right. Anna, run 3 times.
I ran twice.
Well, that's better than none.
It is better than none.
Better than I did.
So, but I'm gonna say for next week I'm gonna run 3 times, and I've got my Fitbit, so I'm really excited to track my water too.
These visual.
Visual. Hey, and then I need to figure out how to like taunt people and look up their stuff. So I'm gonna figure out that Fitbit stuff.
Okay. If you need help,
Show you how to taunt. Show you how to taunt. Ready?
Well, I just want to see like everybody's steps. How do I do it?
Hit friends, if you have any friends.
I've got Emma.
Well, then you only have Emma and me as friends.
well, friend me.
We can show you.
Oh.
What else, Kay?
Oh.
Tell us what else
Okay.
you got.
Okay, so Anna's gonna run through content. Grandpa, 70,000 steps.
I don't have a Fitbit.
What happened?
So
We don't know.
Anna, have you not been
Yes.
able to get over to Dad's yet to fix it up? Now, are you going to use that one for you, Anna, or for Dad?
Yes. I just got one for me because I wanted to understand how they work so that I could help Dad with his. But I didn't actually realize that he was having difficulty with his. I just got one because I wanted to
Okay.
I wanted to kind of know. So
and
we'll
now
go ahead and return Dad's again for the third or fourth time.
No. Now mine has been working lately, and Dina is wearing it.
So it looks like we need another one for you, huh, Dad?
No, we don't. No. Let's just go Fitbit for a while.
doctor's orders.
Unfitbit for a while.
All right, Kay, go ahead.
So, Grandpa, what are your goals for next week?
Work out at least 4 days.
What are you going to do to work out?
Elliptical, 30 minutes.
You're going to be sad about not having a Fitbit on when you're doing that much exercise.
I can get 5,000 in 40 minutes because I'll do 30 minutes on the elliptical and 10 minutes on the shake and bake. Kathy, you would like the shake and bake.
Oh, good. What is that?
That's like the old time belt that you put around your butt and you turn the sucker on and it shakes you up.
Yeah, that works well, right?
Well, it's a little bit different. Today it's a platform that you stand on and it shakes you.
Oh.
But it's useful, I think.
I mean, is it like for lymphatic drainage or something?
Well, I think it's more
Who
for
knows?
being like the
yeah.
rebounder. It's supposed to kind of move things in your body.
Yeah, it's a lymphatic drainer.
Yep.
The platform that you
Okay.
stand on goes up and down like this. So, and it does it automatically. And so you just stand on it and it just kind of shakes you without having to be jumping.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That's Dad. There you go.
I like it, John.
Oh, dear.
Alright, Fritz, your cleanse.
Cleanse is going well.
Yay.
I only cheated on it once or twice.
It's pretty good.
What'd you cheat on it for?
One was a dinner. It was a Jenny's birthday dinner and David's birthday dinner. That was one time.
No, that's okay.
And I think there was something else in there too. Pretty sure I did one other time too.
So what are your goals for this week?
Same thing.
Okay.
I'm still cleaning.
Cleanse. Alright. Mine for last week were the Disque Foundation shirt designs, which I think are good to go. Fritz and I worked on those earlier today a little bit.
Hold on, we wanted to unveil them to everyone, didn't we, Kay?
Oh,
Oh, those look fantastic.
Come on, Kay. You don't want to? Do you want to show these to everybody?
Ooh, I like the blue.
Oh, I do too.
you guys tell me what you think, because I don't, I like them, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I love them, you know? They're good
Well,
I
think they're pretty amazing.
do you like
You
them?
don't? You're not in love with them now, huh?
Is that hard to read?
No.
Okay, good, Fritz. Fritz, we picked a good one.
Empowering everyone to save a life.
I think that's wonderful because it gives the confidence, because so many people, lay people, would think, I can't do that. And here you're telling me we can empower you. We can teach you. I love the front. I love the logo and the hands. And
it's right over their heart, too. You know who designed that logo?
Yeah.
Caroline drew those hands. And there's a little globe inside of them.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, that was a logo a la Caroline. That was her first logo.
Wow.
I know, right?
Amazing.
I love them.
I do too.
I like it.
When do we get them?
Oh, I'd say it'd probably be ready in a couple weeks. What do you think, Kay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yay!
We need to do a count, don't we, Kay? See how many people we have.
Yeah.
Go ahead and order them up. Then get them all distributed.
Yep.
All right. That sounds awesome.
Yep. And then
All right.
the other one to read or health note, Wuthering Heights. I definitely did. I mean, I
What was that?
Did. Huh? Oh,
We can't hear you.
Either read or Spark Note, Wuthering Heights, which is my summer reading, and I did that.
Which one? Did you read it or did you Spark Note it?
I read the first 3 chapters and then Spark Note the first 3 to see if I actually understood them, and I was completely off. So I just decided to Spark Note them.
Good decision making. I like the deductive.
I'd rather do this stuff or something. Like, I didn't want to spend my whole day reading.
Yeah, find out what way makes you learn the best and go with that route.
Yep. And I sparked on one of them last year, and I read the other 2 because our books weren't that bad last year. Honestly, I end up with the same grade anyways, so whatever.
The outcome is the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, okay, so my goals for this week is to have 10,000 steps a day. And there's this really cool thing on Spark Notes where, like, because I have to read Hamlet, and it's like in modern day, like, text, but it's not like summarized or anything. It's just translated into modern day format so you can understand it. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I didn't do 20,000. Yesterday I didn't have my Fitbit on. So
you think you hit 70?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I was charging it when I was sitting down at the computer, and I forgot to put it back on when I stood up, and it was off the rest of the day until I went to bed, so. No.
Okay, good job.
So those are my 2 goals. All right. Kathy, what are yours for this next week?
Well, my first one is each day to do something I don't want to do. So, for example, in my business, for example, it would be there are influential people or key leaders that I have allowed fear to keep me from calling. So to prepare a call, so that's what I mean, do something I don't want to